Good Sunday afternoon to you beautiful people in my phone. Welcome to Car Conversations, where we talk all things faith, freedom, football, etc. My name is Jocelyn Carr. I am a transformational coach and a transformational speaker, and I love sports. And I love to come on and talk to you, beautiful people in my phone, about what's happening, not just in sports. Could be something happening in our world. It could be something that the Lord gives me to share, and could be related to any aspect of freedom and what that looks like, because freedom in different seasons of our lives looks like different things, right? And so we talk all of that. So welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by, scrolling by, and staying. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for clicking the like button, and thank you for sharing the content as you feel led to share the content. I realized that I had recorded a post Super Bowl video and had a crazy week, busy week last week, and was unable to upload it before the shooting happened at the parade in Kansas City last week. And so once the shooting happened, I didn't even want to upload it. Honestly, I didn't. So here's what I know. There's so much evil and there's so much brokenness in our world today. There was the shooting at Joel Osteen's church on Sunday last week, and then by Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever the parade was, there was that, shooting. Yeah. There are no words. Because we say the things, we make the speeches, and it doesn't seem like anything is changing. If anything, it's getting more ramped up as far as, I know here in the state of Georgia, a law was just passed that you have the right to carry your concealed weapon without a permit now in the state of Georgia. Now, I'm not going to get into gun laws and what's right and what's wrong, because I don't intend on my channel at all to be divisive, except for when it comes to the truth and the word of God, because it is divisive in and of itself. But, all I know is it's easier to purchase, it's easier to carry, it's easier to conceal, and that's what I know. That's what I know. So I want to say that my thoughts and my prayers, of course, go out to the victims of the shooting, the families of those victims who lost their lives in both of those shootings, and those who were in the environment to either worship the Lord or to celebrate what should have been just a momentous occasion in the Super Bowl, that now live with the trauma of being somewhere when a shooter just decides to begin shooting and take lives. It doesn't matter what they say it was a dispute, a gang-related dispute, at the Kansas City shooting. It doesn't even matter the why. The fact, remains that this is what happened. Many children were injured. I don't know what the count is as far as, how many have lost their lives, if anyone has lost their life. It's just senseless. It's senseless. So, while I wanted to talk about the Super Bowl, that overshadowed all of that. But congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs, and my homeboy, Patrick Mahomes, and they're going for a three-peat. Patrick Mahomes is he 27, 28 years old, maybe 29? I don't know his age. He's young. He's in his 20s. And he's already won 3. Is that right? He's won 3. 2 back-to-back. And is he in the GOAT conversation? You have to start talking about him in the GOAT conversation. And I think this is what I had said on the video that I never uploaded. You have to start having that GOAT conversation, because who's going to challenge them next year? Now, Joey B was out this season with another injury. Burrow, and I say that because I have mad respect for Joe Burrow's game, but he hasn't accomplished even remotely close to what Patrick Mahomes, has been able to accomplish. But I'm just trying to name some, who's going to challenge, Lamar. I wanted to see that, I definitely wanted to see the Ravens in the Super Bowl. But I don't know, until he gets knocked off. The Chiefs have become the New England Patriots of the NFL. So Patrick Mahomes has become the Tom Brady of the NFL. So that's kind of where we are with that. What else is happening? Not a whole lot on college football that I care to discuss today, honestly. Because I love college football. I love college football. And it's just frustrating me right now, what's happening. I'll say this. We had Georgia State's head coach over the last week. Georgia State's head coach left the head coaching position as spring ball has begun. It's already begun. And the head coach left the position to become, I believe it was a wide receivers coach at the University of South Carolina. So he left Georgia State as the head coach, which is whatever division Georgia State is, okay? And he left it to become a position coach, a wide receiver coach, I believe it was, at the University of South Carolina. So SEC school, Division I, okay. He left after spring ball has started already, y'all. And that's, this is the problem I have with it. So see the video last week if you have not watched it yet. But I really went in at great length because it's my pet peeve right now with what's happening in the landscape of college football. If we, the adults, if the coaches, the leaders, the administrators, the adults in the room, if we are not exemplifying great self-leadership, that we honor our commitments, that we are forthright in our communication, that we treat people with dignity and respect, that we have a sense of loyalty to that which we have been given to lead. If we don't have that, if we're not exemplifying that, then how can we expect the young people, y'all? How can we expect the young people to learn, to develop their own self-leadership skills in the way they need to develop them, with morals, with values, with dignity, with honor, with great character? Y'all, we can't, because the math doesn't math, and they see it. So good luck to that coach. I don't know his name. Good luck to that coach who is now going to be a position coach at Carolina. Great city. Love Columbia. Love Columbia, South Carolina. Love William Bryce Stadium. I've been in that stadium. Love the way they tailgate out there in Columbia. They have the trains, the trolley. What do they call them? Oh my goodness. Somebody knows what the Gamecocks call their trains, their cars that they tailgate in, cabooses. They have this whole caboose situation out there where they tailgate. It's absolutely unique. And it's one of the reasons I love the SEC the way I love the SEC, is because each institution has a different feel for how they celebrate the game on their particular campus, and it's very unique at Williams-Brice. So good luck to him there. I want to get into the NBA because it's NBA All-Star Weekend. Am I turning right here? I'm sorry, y'all. I missed one turn on my way home, and it has completely detoured me to, I don't know. I just have to follow. I have to follow what it says. Oh, I see where I am. Okay, I'm crossing here. Okay, I see this. Y'all, listen, I don't know what I did prior to a GPS. What did you do prior to a GPS? Old school, when I learned how to drive, we had a, man, what kind of plane is that? Y'all know it's a private airport over here, and that's a nice jet that just took off. We used to have the old school atlas that we kept in our glove compartment. This is why I'm pointing to my glove compartment. We had the old school atlas that we kept, and we learned how to read maps very well. And we would map out if we were on a road trip. My brother knows the name of the map. You may know the name of the atlas. We actually were talking about this the other day, how we learned to read maps. And it was, it was taught in schools, number one. And it was necessary, because we didn't have these things, these devices to tell us how to get to where we were going. So we learned by paying attention to our surroundings and landmarks and street names. We learned street names. We learned exit names. We learned exit. I didn't learn the numbers. A lot of people go by the numbers. I go by the name of the exit because I don't do numbers. So we learned all of that in order to navigate our stomping grounds, right? And if we went on a road trip, we knew how to use the atlas, and we would map it out. I got to take 20, and then I'm gonna hit 75, and then I'm gonna go on that for, check the little the ledger, what do you call it? I'm going to be on there for about so-and-so amount of miles before I have to hit, whatever. And the passenger, right? The passenger, the person who rode shotgun had a job because they needed to know how to read the atlas so they could read it out loud so the driver would know. Come on, y'all. Some of y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. So the driver would know. And so really the passenger was kind of like the GPS, if you will, letting the driver know we have about 10 more miles probably on this. And of course you're reading the signs as you're on the interstate, or the highway, whatever, until we take our exit, to hit another highway. But that's how we used to do it back in the day. That's how we used to do it back in the day. And my whole point was that I don't have much of an internal GPS when it comes to driving. I have an internal GPS when it comes to other things. Thank you, Holy Spirit. But not when it comes to driving. So I know where I am now. I'm back where I'm supposed to be. It took me a roundabout way to dump me to this location. But anyway, I digress. This is the etc. part. The NBA All-Star Weekend. What are your thoughts? Are you watching? Did you watch last night? Now, last night there was a skills challenge. There was a 3-point contest. And then there was the Steph Curry versus Sabrina Ionesco. Apologies now for butchering her last name. But they had their challenge, which Steph ended up winning that. But it was a great challenge. I think it was an excellent addition to the lineup for All-Star Weekend. What are your thoughts on it? When I was growing up, because we didn't have these phones and access social media and access to all of the insight into the professional players, well, everybody. Now we have insight into everybody. Some people we may not even want to have insight into what they're doing and what's happening in their lives. It's thrust upon us now because of these devices. But we didn't know, like we couldn't see our players off the court. We couldn't see them, the players that we love, off the field We got to see them on Saturdays and Sundays and whatever weekday they may have played, and we tuned into the television to watch them. But of course, now we get all the behind the scenes with their social media accounts. So a great time for us to be able to get a little more insight and see a more personable side of the players that we loved were events like the All-Star game, because they were more relaxed. They were joking. They were having a good time. And I'm thinking specifically all of the players that I loved growing up, but particularly MJ, Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, Larry Bird, the Barkleys, the AI, Allen Iverson. This wasn't even the 80s. That was more like the 90s, right? When was AI? What was AI playing? What were the years? Y'all know the numbers. Put them in the comments, please. And thank you. Thank you to my tribe, who is always helping me out, doing the research, getting the stats, and putting them in the comments for me. Allen Iverson, all the greats, y'all, all the greats. And we got to see them in a relaxed environment. And the Reggie Miller, the three-point shootout with Reggie Miller, that was always my favorite to watch. But the slam dunk contest, like I would plan my entire weekend around like when I could tune in, to watch it on my television, because we didn't have YouTube. Nobody was running a replay of it. You may see highlights on the news, but that was it. That was it. If you missed it, you missed it. You only heard about it the next day. Man, life was so different then, right? I feel like it was much simpler. We just turned on the TV. That was it. That was our device, the television. Which my parents and grandparents and everybody else would probably tell you, anyway, they remember what it was like before that. How you didn't have that and you had to read the newspaper. Wow. I feel a little old in this moment. Anyway, great dunk contest yesterday. It's not what it used to be, though. I will say that. The simplicity of the dunks, and the simplicity back in the 80s when it was Dominique Wilkins, Michael Jordan battling it out. You had your Spud Webb, Dr. J, during those days. It was simple, and it was the power, it was the showmanship, it was the height, all of that. And now it's a lot of gimmicks involved, and I say gimmicks loosely. It's creativity. There's more creativity now. There's more you can do. And of course, with the development, the dunks in the 80s look pretty basic now, to the players now. And so you're just seeing the evolution of what has happened, with the All-Star game. But I think it kind of, viewership fell off at a certain point. And I'm wondering what the viewership is like now. Like, are people going to actually tune in today to watch the game? Did they tune in last night to watch it? And like I said, you don't have to now, because now you can go on Twitter right now. You can go on YouTube right now and watch what happened last night. So viewership is nowhere near the same. Can't be. But Mac McClung was the winner of the slam dunk contest last night. Back-to-back champion, defending champion of the slam dunk contest. Player in the G League. He's not even playing in the NBA. He's in the G League. And he has won back-to-back. And he deserved to win last night. He absolutely deserved to win. So what are your thoughts on that? Damian Lillard, Dame Time, won the three-point shooting contest last night, back-to-back. I like to watch that. I like to watch shooters shoot, and I like to watch folks dunk. I do. And Steph won against Sabrina, which I think, like I said, it was a great addition to have to the night, the events, and I hope that they continue, something of that nature. The skills challenge was also a good little competition. I like to watch that. So I watched all of that this weekend. And after the heaviness of the week, it was a welcomed distraction, if you will, to kind of lighten the end of the week. That's what I got. Who's going to win today, the East or the West? Are you watching the game tonight? That's pretty much what I have today. I thank y'all so much for tuning in. I thank you for liking and subscribing the channel. I thank you for your attention. I thank you for posting in the comments and interacting. You guys have an amazing Sunday. Please stay safe, stay blessed, be a blessing, be a blessing, be a blessing. You have something that you can offer to someone else. Do that, because you can do that very well. And stay winning and stay free.